All right, everybody, let's get right into it. This is PhillyRon of MUTtips.com, your one-stop shop for Ultimate Team tips, tricks, collection info, and card reviews. Our goal is to make your MUT experience awesome. Guys, please hit that like button right away before we get into the video. Please make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be prepared to leave a comment. We're going to take a look at the top 5 Nickelbacks in the game today. My good friend, the Texas boy, sent, put a post or a reply in one of the previous videos I did asking for a look at the Nickelbacks. So it kind of threw me for a loop because, of course, there are no Nickelbacks by position in the game. So you can only look for corners, and because of that, it makes this a little bit more difficult. So that's what took a little bit of extra time for this. So I wanted to just go and look at some of the key things that make good Nickelbacks. All right. So as we get into this MUTtips Madden 15 Ultimate Team look at the top 5 Nickelbacks in MUT 15, we're going to break down the best Nickelbacks in the game. Quite honestly, some of these players may be starting corners as well, but the right set of key attributes will make them great Nickelback or slot corners. For instance, guys, you should know by now that Nickelbacks in general, unlike outside corners, they don't have any boundaries to force a receiver to. When you're playing outside corner, we always teach the technique depending on how you're playing. If you're man, you're forcing your receiver to the sideline. If you're zone, you're looking in from the sideline. So I don't want to get too technical. But how I teach my corners is if you're playing man-to-man, you open to the man, meaning your hips open to the receiver. When you're playing zone, your alignment should be that when you come into your back pedal, your hips should open to the field. So there's a difference. Man-to-man is you're opening to the man. Zone, you're opening to the field, meaning that nothing should be wider than you if you're playing in zone. If you're playing safety, nothing should be deeper than you. So those are just some key attributes. If some of you guys like to coach, and I know a lot of guys try to get into coaching from playing Madden, and they try to mess with the very, very small little league type of stuff. But when you get to the higher ranks, technique is very important. So you could take that little nugget and use that just as you watch regular football, you can tell what defense these corners are in, and what covers these corners are in based on how they're opening, how their hips open when they're dropping back. All right, so let's go ahead and get into, again, these top 5 Nickelbacks. So what I'm looking for from a slot corner or nickel is they have to be extremely agile, because an offensive player can basically break 3 different ways when playing, when facing or when in the slot. Basically, you have a go, what they would just release vertical, where they can release to the right or to the left, or, slant in or slant out or whatever. So those are 3 aspects that you need to be able to prepare for or be able to play in the nickel. Whereas if you're a right corner, and when I'm saying right corner, I'm saying the position of the corner on the field, not the right corner is actually going to play on the left of the offense. So as the right corner, I would be opening. Again, if I'm in man-to-man, I'm opening to the left. So I would take a step back. Depending on how close I'm playing the receiver, I'm pressing him, I'm jamming him, and then I'm forcing him outside. So I'm going to use my inside hand, which is my left hand, to prevent him from coming across my body. And honestly, what I want to do is I'm getting a little too technical. I would actually want to get my hand to shoot into his armpit to force him from being able to move inside. That's actually going to automatically change his direction. All right, so when you're playing this position, you got to be extremely agile. And the only thing that I can pull from the game that could actually help validate some numbers is just I'm just going to look at their man and their zone coverage. So my cutoff for our Nickelbacks is you have to be at least over a 90 agility. agility is the key factor for me for my Nickelbacks. Simply because I can click on, more than likely I'll be clicking on one of these players as they play crossing routes, and they have to be agile so I can move around. Agility, I believe, helps your user skill. Honestly, quite honestly, the guy feels more comfortable to control, and you're able to go in there and make plays. So agility is key, and then man-to-man and zone. And I'm not looking for, my cutoff for the zone and man is 86. You have to be above the 86. So with those key attributes in place, let's go ahead and take a look at our top 5 Nickelbacks in MUT 15, and we're going to start off right away with number 5. And this number 5 player is coming to us from a team who is not necessarily doing that good right now, but we believe in them because their new coach has had success in the past, and that's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the corner that we're looking at is the 83 overall how do you say this? Alteron Werner. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at him, and you'll see him right here. And let's just go ahead and sort by buy now price. And we're looking at, you're looking from anywhere from 5,500 to 21,000, or 5,900 to 21,000. I would say from the look that I have, for the research that I have, he sits right around 7K. So don't overspend for a player at this caliber. However, he is one of the top 5 Nickelbacks in the game. His agility rating is a 92. All right, so he's gonna give you a little bit of that wiggle when you click on him. His man cover is 87, and his zone cover is 86. So again, this is a good corner that you can use in your slot to play some of these good slot receivers, or depending on whoever your opponent puts in the slot. What I want to do is, I don't want us to just start saying, hey, we're going to take the top 3 corners in the game and just put them on the field. Because that's not necessarily, even though it may work in the video game, it's not necessarily what we want to do. There are some key attributes that certain guys have over others. And that's why you'll have like a great corner getting roasted in the slot. Or that's why you'll have, like last year, you'll have a Sean Taylor safety being an amazing slot player. All right, because of his, his speed, his size, his ability to come down and play the run as well, even though he was a safety. All right, so number 5 again is Alteron Werner. Let's go ahead and take a look at our number 4 corner. Our number 4 corner is coming from the Green Bay Packers, and I believe they have 2. No, they don't have. I actually have 2 on my roster, but only one of these guys makes the cut based on our attributes, and we're looking at the Tramon Williams player. So you see Tramon right there. Let's go ahead, and we are sorted by buy now. The lowest Tramon is 7,500 buy now, and what I would say, just based on the research, I'm looking at around 10K. So these are a little bit under. So I would grab these if you guys don't have a good corner. You want to throw somebody in a slot. This is a great corner that you can use in the slot. Let's look at his numbers real quick. As we take a look at these numbers, you see that 90 speed already. He has another advantage. Even though it's 1 inch, a lot of these guys these Nickelbacks are like 5'9" or 5'10". He's coming in at 5'11" with that 91 agility, 89 man cover, and 86 zone. So these are our low end guys. They're hitting our cutoff. They're not really exceeding too much over top of that, but again, these attributes are key to make them good players in the slot. These will help you in the slot. Now, a lot of people may say, well, I'm more worried about the press. You can be worried about the press depending on what type of style that you want to play. So if you want to play a lot of press, what you got to understand, if you're playing a lot of press, especially in the slot, once they beat you, they better have amazing speed and amazing acceleration. So if you're looking for press corners, you're going to look for speed and acceleration. Good press, then speed and acceleration. So, and we'll take a look at that later on as we continue to do these top 5s. We're going to start breaking things down and a little more granular, so you guys have in-depth information on what players that you could put out on the field, so everybody isn't trying to run around with the same damn teams all the time. All right, so Our number 5 guy was Alteron Werner, the 83 overall from Tampa Bay. Number 4 is the 84 overall Tramon Williams from Green Bay. We're going to move on to number 3. And our number 3 player is coming to us. I just got to boost his rating up real quick. And he is coming to us from the Baltimore Ravens. All right. This player is Ladarius Webb. And as you can see here, between 70 and 77K, and I have him listed right at 70. So this is my research is basically right on point. He is an elite player. I don't really want to throw out elite players here, but because of his price, he's not extremely high. You can actually go out there and get this player. He doesn't make it all the way across the board with our key attributes, but he is highly skilled as far as his attributes say. All right, so again, 5'10", like we said, a lot of these guys are small. So this guy's 5'10", but he has 92 agility, all right, 92 man cover, and 87 zone. So he's pretty, he's pretty good. The numbers don't lie. The numbers say that this guy is going to be a good person for us to throw in the slot. Now, a lot of you guys will be like, shit, this is an elite player, because you're looking at the banner. And you're going to look at the overall and say he's 87, so I'm going to throw him outside. He's an outside corner. Yes, you can put him wherever you want. But what I'm saying is based on the key attributes, this guy will make a great nickelback. His agility is extremely high. His man cover is good. His zone cover is good. That's all I'm looking for in that slot with those slot defenders. I need that high agility. All right, now there's some guys who are even higher than him. But I'm not going with those Richard Shermans and stuff like that to put in slots, because we'll never do that. Joe Hayden isn't going to be a slot player. Patrick Peterson, we're not throwing in a slot, things of that nature. And I'm not putting a player up here who's costing 700,000 coins, because not a lot of us will have the opportunity to play with that player. So it's pointless of putting out a so-called tip or information that nobody or only 1% of people can actually use. So that's the reason why you're seeing some of these guys out here. So again, number 5, Alteron Werner. Number 4, Tramon Williams. Number 3, we're looking at this Ladarius Webb from the Baltimore Ravens. You can get him around 70K. And as we move on to our number 2 player, we're going to keep the same type of rating. So the overalls are going to be the same. But now we're going to head on over to the team that got beat up bad in the Super Bowl. And we're going to take a look at this Football Outsiders, Chris Harris. Real good player. Price isn't that high. As you can see here, 55K up to, I mean, he can get up there, as you can see. But Talib is out here as well. So he's saying 121. I have him listed right around 68K for Chris Harris. This is a good player to get, guys. Just let's go ahead and take a look at his numbers. 5'10" again. Here we go. All right. 92 agility, 93 man, and 88 zone. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the agility, we're looking for the man-to-man, and we're looking for the zone cover. And these guys make great slot defenders. Why? Because in slot, you don't know if you're going to be playing zone. You don't know if you're going to be playing man. A lot of guys may say, why would you put a slot defender in zone? They're in the inside so they can play that, that slot receiver wherever he goes. Well, again, coming from a football background or actually playing the game, if you have a slot right next to a tight end, even though you may say you're in like a man, we'll call, I don't know what they call it now, but we would say like Ohio back in the day, which is basically like Iowa or Ohio, which means inside out or outside in. So if the receiver, if your man broke outside, I'll take him. If my man breaks inside, well, that's the same thing as your man breaking outside. If your man breaks outside, I'll take him. If my man stays out, I'll go vertical. If my man goes in, you take my man. Things like that. So you can actually, and then there's also concepts called zone defend, which is you play zone. You show man to man, like you physically play the receiver man to man, but only for the zone that you're in. So as soon as he vacates that zone, you drop back off. So the quarterback seeds man-to-man coverage based on your steps, but as soon as basically when he makes that read off of that, he throws into a zone even though he pre-read man or he read man at the break, at the snap. So it's a lot of stuff that can be done. in this game to help confuse. And that's another thing that EA added to this game with that bluff blitz, which is basically adding some of the real concepts that you see on the field actually coming to the game. So we go ahead and we went through our top 4 already. We already introduced our number 1. So our number 5 player was Alteron Werner out of Tampa Bay, 83 overall. The 84 overall, Tramon Williams from Green Bay, 10K value. The number 3 guy was the Baltimore Ravens, Ladarius Webb, coming at he's an 87 overall elite. He's 70K, and you guys can see here the Denver Broncos Football Outsiders, Chris Harris Jr., 68,000 is what I'm saying that he should be going for. You see you have a few here that are under that, so go ahead and grab these if you can. These are great players to have on your team. That 93 agility, 93 man-to-man, in that 88 zone. Our number 1 guy overall, all right, is lower rated than these guys, all right? But this man, and when I was doing this research, I had to go get him right away, because once I saw this, I said, there's no way. If I let this video go out before I grab this player value might go up. All right, so we're looking at the 49ers. Parrish Cox, Team of the Week player. This guy is a stud. Now, he may be an outside guy for you, but I'm putting him in the slot, and I literally have put him in the slot. I would show you but I'm going to do a reveal later. I don't want to say once I finish the entire top 5, but I will do a reveal of my team so that you guys can see who I'm working with. 6 foot overall, 94 agility, 91 man, 93 zone with 92 speed. And his acceleration is 94. So this man can get up and go. So again, if I want to put him in press, he can play press. He has great man coverage skills. He has great zone coverage skills. If he gets beat, he can get on his horse and still make a play. This guy should be around 60K. He is lower than that, so the prices are dropping. Go ahead and get him immediately. I paid 61K for him. When guys start playing with this man and see how effective he is, this price will go up. So if you want to steal something real quick, go ahead out here and grab this Parrish Cox. I'm sure that you guys will enjoy it. And guys, please do me a favor, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know who are some other corners that you believe should have been focused on as Nickelback. So let me know who you have currently as your Nickelback, and would you replace that guy with one of the guys that I put on this list? I definitely appreciate you guys. Please also make sure that you follow the social media accounts that we have. So just go ahead and check us out on Twitter at Philly_Ron or at MUT_tips. And keep supporting. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great time in MUT. I look forward to bringing another video to you. Thank you, Texas Boy, for making this video a little bit more difficult for me, having me to go out there and do some more research. But I love getting in front of the guys, and I love challenges like that. So you guys keep doing what you're doing, keep supporting. I appreciate you guys. Everybody have a great day. It's PhillyRon. Peace.